Human beings spend most of their lives chasing something. Money, love, recognition, pleasure, success, peace. People believe, if I can just achieve one more thing, then I will finally feel complete. But strangely, completion never arrives. The moment one desire disappears, another immediately takes its place. A new goal, a new craving, a new dissatisfaction. And perhaps this raises a terrifying possibility. What if suffering is not a temporary problem, but the natural condition of human existence itself? Few philosophers explored this question more honestly than Arthur Schopenhauer. A man who believed human life is fundamentally driven by endless dissatisfaction. A philosopher who saw desire itself as the source of suffering. Tonight, we enter Schopenhauer's dark vision of existence. A philosophy of craving, loneliness, consciousness, and humanity's endless search for peace inside a world that never fully satisfies. Part 1: The Philosopher of Pessimism. Arthur Schopenhauer was born in Germany in 1788. From an early age, he developed a deep distrust toward optimism about human life. While many philosophers celebrated reason, progress, civilization, and human achievement, Schopenhauer focused on suffering. He observed how human beings constantly struggle. Emotionally, physically, psychologically. He saw competition everywhere, conflict everywhere, dissatisfaction everywhere. And unlike many thinkers, he refused to romanticize existence. To Schopenhauer, life was not a beautiful story moving toward fulfillment. It was an endless process of striving. Humans chase happiness endlessly, yet rarely remain satisfied for long. And this observation became the center of his philosophy. Part 2: The Will. At the center of Schopenhauer's philosophy exists one powerful idea: the will. The will is not conscious, not rational, not moral. It is a blind force driving all existence. According to Schopenhauer, everything in nature expresses this will. Animals hunting, plants growing, humans competing, societies expanding, desires multiplying endlessly. The will constantly pushes life forward. And humans experience this force internally as desire. People think, if I obtain this thing, then I will finally feel fulfilled. But fulfillment never lasts. Why? Because the will never rests. The moment one desire is satisfied, another immediately emerges. Humans remain trapped inside endless craving. And because craving never truly ends, suffering becomes permanent. Part 3: The Trap of Desire. Schopenhauer believed human life moves endlessly between suffering and boredom. When humans lack what they desire, they suffer. But when they finally achieve it, the satisfaction fades quickly. Then boredom appears. And boredom creates new desire. This cycle repeats endlessly. Think about modern life. People chase careers, relationships, validation, possessions, social status. Yet even after success, many still feel empty. Because external achievement cannot permanently silence desire. Modern society intensifies this cycle constantly. Advertising creates new cravings. Social media creates comparison. Consumer culture convinces people they are incomplete without more acquisition. And because the will constantly demands more, human beings become emotionally exhausted. Part 4: Consciousness as Suffering. Animals suffer physically, but humans suffer psychologically. Because humans possess self-awareness, Humans understand mortality, impermanence, loneliness, uncertainty. Humans can imagine future pain before it happens. Relive old pain repeatedly. Create anxiety through thought alone. This makes human suffering uniquely intense. Schopenhauer believed consciousness itself becomes a burden. The more aware a person becomes, the more clearly they see existence's instability. And perhaps this explains why intelligent or highly reflective people often struggle emotionally. Because awareness destroys illusion. People begin realizing happiness fades. Relationships are fragile. Time moves quickly. Death is unavoidable. And once consciousness sees these truths, life feels heavier. Part 5, Love, Sex, and the Illusion of Romance. Schopenhauer had an especially dark view of love. Most people imagine romantic love as something sacred or deeply personal. But Schopenhauer believed love is largely the will manipulating humans for reproduction. According to him, humans believe they freely choose romantic desire. But underneath, biology drives attraction unconsciously. The will uses pleasure, attachment, and longing to continue life itself. This is why love often creates intense suffering, obsession, jealousy, heartbreak, emotional dependence. Humans attach enormous meaning to relationships. Yet relationships remain unstable and temporary. Schopenhauer believed romance often disguises deeper biological forces. And perhaps this is why heartbreak feels so devastating. Not merely emotionally, but existentially. Part 6, Why Modern People Feel Exhausted. Schopenhauer feels strangely relevant today. Modern society constantly stimulates desire. People are taught to endlessly improve, consume, compete, optimize themselves. But because desire never ends, many people feel psychologically overwhelmed. Social media intensifies this dramatically. Humans compare themselves constantly. Someone always appears wealthier, happier, more attractive, more successful. And because the will endlessly demands more, people struggle to feel content. Modern humans are materially comfortable compared to many past civilizations, yet emotionally restless. Why? Because external comfort cannot fully solve existential dissatisfaction. The will simply creates new cravings endlessly. Part 7, Art as Temporary Escape. Despite his pessimism, Schopenhauer believed humans could temporarily escape suffering. One of the most important ways was through art. Especially music. Why? Because during deep aesthetic experience, the mind briefly stops obsessing over personal desire. A beautiful piece of music, a painting, a philosophical insight, a quiet moment in nature. These experiences temporarily silence the will. For a brief moment, humans stop craving, stop competing, stop chasing. And in that silence, peace appears. This is why art feels emotionally healing. Because it interrupts the endless psychological pressure of desire. Part 8, Compassion and Human Suffering. Schopenhauer also believed suffering should create compassion. Because all beings suffer. Humans, animals. Everyone struggles under the pressure of existence. And once people recognize this universal suffering, cruelty becomes harder. Compassion becomes natural. This is one of the most misunderstood parts of Schopenhauer's philosophy. He was not promoting hatred toward life. He was describing suffering honestly. And through this honesty, he believed humans could become gentler toward each other. Because beneath status and identity, everyone carries invisible pain. Part 9, The Search for Inner Peace. Schopenhauer believed peace becomes possible only when humans weaken attachment to endless desire. Not by obtaining everything, but by needing less. This is why he admired solitude, simplicity, meditation, ascetic traditions, and philosophical reflection. He believed modern humans constantly overstimulate themselves. Constant desire creates constant agitation. But silence, solitude, and reduced attachment can calm the mind. Perhaps true peace does not come from conquering the world. Perhaps it comes from no longer being psychologically enslaved by endless craving. Part 10, Final Reflection. Arthur Schopenhauer looked at human life honestly, and saw endless striving at its center. Desire pushing endlessly forward. Humans chasing fulfillment, while remaining internally restless. His philosophy feels dark because it removes comforting illusion. But perhaps it also reveals something important. That suffering is deeply connected to attachment. That modern society intensifies dissatisfaction constantly. And that peace may require learning how to step outside endless craving. Maybe humans suffer not because life gives them too little, but because desire endlessly convinces them nothing is ever enough.